And good afternoon to you all. Hello, everybody. Welcome, and I'm here with Diana Bowles, aka Oil Painter, and her new glasses. And I'm also here with Wisdom Seeker Joan. And I was just thinking about that, Joan. You've probably been on here with me for about 3.5 or almost 4 years, haven't you? A
You've
long time.
launched so many people, and I'm very proud and honored to be among them.
Well, you're so sweet. But I mean, you were here with when Thayer was with us, and you and Jean and Terry, and oh my goodness,
yeah,
and
I
Thayer.
have to get in touch with Thayer.
I know
She was the
actually.
person.
Go ahead.
She
I'm
was
sorry.
the person who recommended that I read maybe with you or probably, and I was like, no, I'm too scared. And she was the one who pushed me into it, and she said, it'll exercise the muscle like nothing else will. You need to do it. And I said,
Yeah,
okay.
that's true.
So thank you.
That's very
Thank
true.
you, Allie, and thank you, Thayer.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I know. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
And she's actually taking classes in evidentiary mediumship, where she's kind of like the kid on Netflix. That guy is the young kid. Have you watched him at all? He, Taylor something, I think his name is, or something.
Yeah.
He's like 20 years old.
The Hollywood medium, isn't that
kind of? Yeah, yeah. He's a young kid. Yeah, but he's really good. He is really good.
Really.
And Diana, I took your advice and watched Ellen DeGeneres last night, and it was awesome.
Isn't it the best? I mean, it just refreshes the spirit.
It does.
To see her.
Yeah. It was really good.
Does she have a special out or something?
She has a special on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good comedy.
Check
good
it out.
Ellen stand-up.
Very good. Yeah.
That sounds good.
And she talks about aging and things like that. But I think she's 66. She's a little bit younger than me, but she was really burned. Hollywood gave up on her twice. And it's a catharsis for her. So I'm happy for her that she's doing that. Yeah.
I love the way she parts and says, so I'm saying goodbye to Hollywood my way.
Nice.
Right. There you go. And I guess Oprah was in that audience, Keith said. I got up to get something and he told me they panned in on Oprah. So I guess she was watching at one point.
Yeah. How did I miss that? Or maybe I didn't. I forgot.
Just forgot. Yeah. Anyway, let's say hello to a few people. We got Craig and Clara. We got Viviani and her blue hair. We love her. Lucy, Lashee. Is it Lashee? Liz Reeves, Ziggy, chick from Ohio. Yes, happy 1010 portal. I'm going to be on later with Tuta and JJ because we do our double date. Yeah.
It'll be at 10 o'clock in the Eastern zone.
There you go. We usually don't go at night, but she couldn't do it this morning. So, yeah. Charlie's here and Laura's here and Carl is here. How are you, Carl? Randy and McBeo double O. Good afternoon with your kitty cat there. And Magical Mermaid. Oh, Tyler Henry. Thank you, Magical Mermaid. That's his name, Tyler Henry.
Yes.
All right, Carl. We'll put your question up, and Viviani, I'll put your question up. And Diana, you look lovely without the glasses, is what Carl says to you. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Really? I can't see you. But that doesn't matter. But then I can't see here.
That's true. I can't do it either.
Right. And I only need them when we're on this screen.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, I did, Viviani. Thank you, honey. Yep. Okay, Charlie, you got it. Hurricane prayers did work. Minimal. Well, any death is bad, but right now I think 10 people have passed. And
there's a big
it went a little further south. It went a little further south. So
I kept waking up through the night more than I normally do, and every time I woke up, my hands were like this, holding the weather up. It stayed in that category 3 zone. So
okay, interesting. Hi, Janet Worrell. I have your question. Leah, got yours. Rossi's here. Jen Bowles. Nice to see everybody. And anybody we did hear from Teacher Barbara, and her husband's fine because he stayed in their house. But they did lose the roof on their like laundry room or something. And so, and it brought in some water. But anyway, no problems he's a disabled guy, so I was concerned about him being there. He wouldn't leave. Yeah. Hi, T. Lynn. All right. And Maria. All right. What's this say? Randy. A report came into your awareness. Milton downgraded from a 5 to a 3. The path of the hurricane had the least amount of damage compared to any other path. Debbie Dement was telling us it was counterclockwise and that we just needed to do this to turn the energies. And I think a lot of people did that.
Wow.
Okay. I got it, Liz. It's okay. Thank you. Yep. Hi, Mills. All right. And all right. I think I got 12 questions. So I'm guessing I got enough for now, but we're going to alternate with our questions again. And so we may have some time, and we'll certainly do a collective as well. So yeah. Anyway, we are the only thing we have to do now is to certainly send warm vibes. I was telling Joan there's a cold front coming in next week apparently and heading to Florida. So the people that aren't in homes, they need that. They need that. And somebody said Bradenton Beach, which they didn't even think it was going to be up higher than that. They got it pretty bad, but everybody had evacuated. They had no people that were stuck or had any problems.
Fabulous.
So, yeah.
You know, the fantastic thing was so many of those modules had the weather going right up that coast again, not into Asheville, but going right up the Carolinas at the coast. And it didn't. It continued to change and turn right and go that way out.
Good. Thank God. Thank God.
All
and thanks
you
for
light
answering all the
workers.
prayers. Yeah, all the light workers. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm glad the people listened and got the hell out of where they were at the same time.
Right.
Too risky to take a chance on something like that. So
well, and it made the energy easier for light workers to deal with because there wasn't that extra fear,
right,
of those who are already in the path. Right?
Yep. There was a guy that was, I think said he was in Fort Pierce. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but he said a tornado came, and he said it was about 90 seconds, and it was a lot of noise, and he said then it ended, and he went out the door, and oh my God, he said the tiles from the roof were smashed into the side of his car, denting it in, and in the windows were all broken, and there were roofs off houses. It was a big mess, but nobody got hurt. So, there was a tornado near you, Rossi. I'm glad you were okay, honey, because you guys don't get tornadoes down there. Yeah.
No, that. Yes, I saw the video that she's referring to that was close to her house. It was taken on I-75.
Was it coming down? Was it coming down the road? Like you could see it in the distance?
Well, it was one of those. It was a big leg.
Yeah.
And just kept right on moving. Train kept coming.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, there are pictures that are AI generated that are about Disney being flooded. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Joyful Journeys here.
Have you seen the stadium, images of the stadium on the Weather Channel? But entire roof went on Tampa Bay Stadium.
Yes.
That was where all the first responders were staying.
Oh, dear.
Yep. It was just, they said though, that it was like a canvas roof.
Yes.
And they were surprised that they put people in there, but I guess it had endured a lot of other storms and it was always okay. So at least nobody got hurt. Somebody on Joan's channel, could you just put questions are closed, please? Because we've already got plenty of questions for today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. I guess we'll get going then. All right. So here we go with Carl. May I hear from the masters working with my dad, Bernardo, who died today, 36 years ago? Okay. What are their superpowers and advice for the month? Either one of you want to take this? It's up to you, or both of you can. It's fine.
Let's see.
Well, this one I'm getting green Tara coming in.
Ooh.
And she's counting. Maybe some money's coming. It looks like she's counting money. I don't know that that's a superpower, but manifestation is something that she's good at helping.
Okay. This
That's
is Green Tara. Yeah. This is Green Tara.
There you go.
Yep. She's fabulous. Yeah.
When I tuned in, all I saw was this kind of big muscly guy, and he was, he was really huge, like almost like a giant or something. Shirt off, all kinds of He-Man muscles. And in his hand, he has like one of those little flags, but it's a Greek flag. So there's some like Greek god. And obviously strength is one of his superpowers. But what kind of strength? What are you? Okay, now he's showing me like Greek statuary and things like this. What does this mean?
Wow.
They knew this entity knew your dad. So I'm not sure if this exactly who this is, but during classical Greek times. Strength and okay, show me all these statues. And then he's referencing like the Plato or the I don't know my Greek history well, but the combination of physical strength in service of ideas, of like starting up democracy and all of combining. It starts with your mental stuff and grasping onto ideas that kind of were being channeled to them at the time, and then putting the strength behind it. And that can be done for all of us all the time to tune in, get the downloads sort of, and then get behind it, and you can do great things. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's what I got.
Oh, but that's what you got. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Diana, you got Green Tara. She's beautiful. She's my person, my deity that I like so much, very much. Yeah. So you, Dad passed all those years ago. Okay. Wow, Carl. I thought my parents passed along. Well, my dad in 92 and my mother in 88. So, when you were speaking, Joan, I don't know if this person was a god or not. I got that it was one of the philosophers like Socrates or Aristotle or one of those.
Yeah.
And then I got academic, and that's what those guys were. Socrates taught Plato, Plato taught Aristotle, and Aristotle taught Alexander the Great. So see how it went? Yeah. So each one was a teacher to the other. So they learned and they grew from all those ideas. So I'm getting that as well. And that sometimes we have to go back to being innocent and not be very defensive. In other words, have an open mind as a child, as a child would, in order to learn what it is that you need to grow. So I love that. I mean, I was seeing that when you were saying that. Yeah.
That was
awesome.
Hi, Terry. Yeah, Terry's here. Hi, Karen. Yeah, awesome. Wow. Well, I hope that helped. Carl, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm going to skip down to Mills because Mills, are you here? I hope so, because usually by the time I get to you, you're not here anymore. So I'm hoping that you're here. And hi, Barbara. I hope you're doing okay today, sweetie. Yep. And that Richard's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I need to ask Richie Carthen why his death prophesized to me. Was I supposed to do something for him? Oh, so you're saying that you knew this person was going to pass and you want to know why you knew before it happened. I'm guessing that's what your question is. Yep. Are you here, Mills?
I'm getting there wasn't anything specific, and they're just kind of showing me sort of like a telephone line or a fiber, a link between you two, and the energy was just traveling that way, and you had the telephone to pick it up, you know, metaphorically to pick it up and get the message. It wasn't like tell her that I'm going to die and she can do.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything behind it that way. You just the energy was out there and you had the capability to pick it up. So, Richie, anything else for Mills Lane about this? It said answer your phone. And I think that means know that you've got this, you know, it happened once and, you know, it wasn't like you were trying to do this, but know that you're capable of this and you can pick up the phone and give them a call or take your abilities a little more seriously and see if you want to delve into that or to kind of dip your toe into that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Anything from you, Diana? Yeah. Can't hear you, hon.
The dog was barking. Sorry.
Okay.
I drew
look
a
at
card.
that. Look at that.
Right. I drew this card, and just as it came out, just as Joan was saying, you're connected somehow. He wanted you to know you have some sort of a soul contract connection with him. I'm not sure what that is, but it has. He may be a distant cousin or something to that effect that you just don't know about yet. And when that revelation comes, you're going to go, ha.
It's interesting because I pulled the first card I got was driver. So I'm guessing, you know, it was somebody coming to give you the message. Like people used to drive and drop off messages. But look at this prophecy. And that's what happened. You got the prophecy. So you have the gift of prophecy only because you were close to him. And so you recognize that. And finally, he said, you didn't have to really do anything. How it turned out was perfection, the way it was supposed to happen. So don't feel guilty about it. There's nothing to feel guilty about. That's what I get anyway.
Magical Mermaid said sometimes being an empath doesn't feel that good. And that's so true.
Yeah. That is very true. Yes, absolutely. Wow. All right. So thank you. Thank you, Mills. I don't think you're here right now, so hopefully you'll be able to get that. So Viviani would love a message from her guides. Expand on the message from a song I got yesterday, please. Oh, okay.
What song?
Well, maybe she wants us to figure it out.
I'm getting two things right away. Very different. One is just a violin playing, and you know, there's so much range in a violin, not so much tonically, but what you can do with it, from symphonies to hoedowns, and then I forget who sang the song. You two probably will. You know you do songs so well. Play your own kind of music.
Oh, that's Mama Cass. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's It's
Okay.
something about playing doing your own thing, and
Yes.
don't be
Yep.
held back by tradition. Sing your own song. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's from
I got a couple of cards here for you, Viviani, and this is what it says: that you need to change your conception of how things are, write your own story, and that's kind of what Joan just said. You got to make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, tell your story, and then it says erase your doubts. That's what I get.
The only way you can get unstuck is for you to move. What are you feeling stuck about?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yep. Yep.
I'd love to know what the song says and what the song is.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll tell you at another
because,
time. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
the song I keep getting is Sly and the Family Stone.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be
Be
myself
myself. Yeah.
again. Boom, chaka, boom, chaka,
All right.
do,
So
do, do,
it
do,
makes
do,
sense
do.
to you, Viviani? Okay. Because she says, wow. All right. Thank you, Diana. Okay. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Allie. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You bet.
Different song, but I'll listen to that one, she says. Okay. We'll get her going with all the 60s stuff, right?
That's right.
Yeah. We're
Especially when it's Sly.
the three of us. Yes.
That's right. Okay. Charlie would love a message from her guides.
Okay. I I don't know what this means. I see you riding an elephant and you have and you're like a little girl. You're a little girl riding an elephant like they used to do at circuses and everything, and you have a little American flag moving ahead. So what does this mean? Do you need to go recreate the Republican Party? Spirit, what does this really mean? It's not about politics, it's about knowing the whole idea is I'm seeing you as like this 4 or 5 year old girl riding the elephant and telling it where to go. You have more power than you give yourself credit for. You can do amazing things. You can be the the little girl. Your legs are almost doing the splits on that big elephant's neck, but you're charging forward. So yeah, more powerful than you think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got this card that is called the Wing Leader.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And while I was shuffling, Wonder Woman jumped out. That goes right on with what Joan was saying. Can't make it up.
Wow. Uh-huh. No. She rode an elephant when she was little at the Catskill Game Farm. So
Awesomeness.
Yep.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. So Liz Reeves, a message from guides and angels. All right. Let's see what we can find out for you, Liz. Mhm. Next person is Janet Worrell and then Leah. Okay. And then I'll tell you who's next as we go along.
Right away, I didn't see anything. I was just, but my throat chakra just lit up. So speak your truth, sing your own song again. And I got
Yeah.
from these cards, the magpie, reevaluate your priorities. It's time to let go of what you no longer need. Isn't a magpie?
Mhm.
Don't they kind of they can talk?
Chatty.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're chat.
Chat. Yeah.
And then are
Yep.
the Archangel of Charity who says, bring in love. So
Oh,
maybe there's
wonderful.
something about
Wonderful.
speaking out, but doing so lovingly. If there's something you're really burning to say something to someone or about something,
Yeah.
to speak your truth, but do it with love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Mhm.
I got that you are the bard of truth. Again, this card come out while you were saying stand in your truth.
Wow.
And she has a swan in leashed,
Ooh.
right? And now the 7
Mhm.
swans, I'm trying to remember the whole Celtic story, the whole legend that goes with it. But one of the swans has a gold necklace, and that gold necklace is because she really is a goddess and can turn back into, gets turned into the swan and then comes back once a year in her own body. So
That's not Lita, is it? Lita and the Swan?
no,
Is that who it is? Is that the story? No? Oh,
no,
okay. Okay.
it's
No.
about a guy, like always, you know.
Oh, of course it is.
I'll
Okay.
have to look it up. I'll have to look it up.
That's okay. I get fulfillment and awakened creativity. So it says, you know, it's almost saying if you can be open to what it is that you want or you need, or the changes that are coming, that you can fulfill your heightened and awakened creativity, which is wonderful for you. So yes, it is a wonderful message, Liz. Thank you. All of them are. Yeah. Thanks, ladies. All right. So Janet Worrell, does my higher self have a message from me? Hmm. All right. So, Janet, I have some interesting cards here. I have disguise. Don't hide who you are. It's very important that you don't. You can be your authentic self. It's telling you to water your own garden because it will nourish you. And you have to wait until, of course, the vegetables and the flowers come up. You can't make them happen any quicker than they will. And it's all a part of a journey for you. And look at how happy these two are. It's like, oh, you want to go out on this boat with me on the lake? You know, so it will lead to something beautiful. And so, yeah, don't be afraid to be who you are, sweetie. Yeah.
Well, they're showing me you taking off a note habit, removing the veil, stepping out from behind the veil, stepping into the light, being yourself, being true to yourself. A lot of this message seems like a theme for all of us right now, right?
Yeah.
And so I pulled a card, and the card is the dancer. And you know, some people will takes a lot of courage for them to go bang a tambourine and get out there and dance, right? Don't worry.
Right.
Go do it.
Go
Definitely.
do it. Yep.
Bang
a song, get it in.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Joe.
When I tuned in, the first thing I heard, I didn't see this, but I heard it. It said, "Red Bull gives you wings," and then I didn't see the Red Bull cartoon, but I saw like this amazing winged female creature, kind of in the colors in the background. She was dressed in that kind of purpley violet, and it was sort of on a dark background, and she's rising up with these huge wings, but you're flying parallel to the earth and looking down on it. So it's like, use your energy, you know, if you have to drink Red Bull too, but to get a higher perspective and rise above it all, looking for a higher perspective. And then I was trying to get some clarity, and from the tarot deck I got the 3 of Pentacles. So maybe this, and it's, you know, here's these creative people, sort of like Diana was saying, using their creativity to you know, sell their goods and everything. So maybe it's something work related or creative work related, to get a higher perspective and fly away.
Wonderful. That's beautiful. Lovely, ladies. All right. So we've got Leah next. She'd love to hear from her sister Mary. So the other people up will be Chick from Ohio, and then McB00, and then Maria. So those are who's next, and I'll let you know who will come up after that. Okay. All right. It's not time. It's not time. You got to have to wait an hour.
Mary.
So Leah, first thing I get is she says, she remembers all the times you used to play. And I don't even mean when you were just little, but like playing as older teenagers or whatever, having fun, laughing, enjoying life together. The second one I get is hardship. I don't know if you two had a hard life or you went through some times that were really tough together, but she said we persevered. Those hard times made us stronger, and we are, we got through all of that. And finally, this is an interesting card. Was she a person that like really was focused on her makeup or her hair or being dressed in a certain way? Because I get vanity, but I'm not getting it like overly excessive, not like Scarlett O'Hara, but more like, I can't go out unless I have my lipstick on, and that kind of thing. And maybe not. Maybe that isn't what this is, but that's what I got.
So the first thing I got was Mary, Mary, where you going to? So that seems to be something tongue in cheek for the two of you. But also, as Allie was saying, it's pretty much this kind of cards that I got as well. The apple of my eye is the first card, but all that is, not all that's alluring may be what it seems. See beyond the illusion. And this is what she left and went out to find. The next card I got was her being the labyrinth walker. She was on her own vision quest through the whole thing. She had to do her own thing. So don't know if you had a rift, but it seems as if she did. There was, I have this, I have to go do it. And she basically cut herself off. And for that, she's not proud of not staying close to you, but she's with you now.
Yeah, beautiful. When I tuned in, the first thing I saw was like kind of a small little lyre-shaped harp, like, that she was playing music. And she reminded me, sometimes I used to just hear music playing. Like, especially if there was background noise, like a fan or something, or on long drives where there's a hum, all of a sudden this other music would sort of come around into it. So just kind of, if, I don't know if it's the bathroom exhaust fan or I don't know, just kind of pay attention, because she might be sending you some music. And also she wants you to just talk to her, because she hears you and will do her best to respond. And then I saw a little girl jumping rope. And that was what my attention was brought to was, that's easy after a while, but it takes practice, and it's like total concentration. You can't be thinking about other things. And jump rope without messing up. So I don't know. So I guess the idea was, whether you did this as kids together or I think what she's encouraging you to do is, you don't have to literally jump rope, but find something that takes your total attention and kind of takes you away, whether that's drawing or, whatever it is, kind of something you can get lost in. And then she can be more present with you there. And I drew a couple of cards for you. One is the Archangel Haniel saying, trust your vibes. Another is the Empress card, which is often about fertility. So I don't know if there's anything about,
Mhm.
it could be about family too. You
Mhm.
probably know better than I do. I'm not great with
Right.
tarot. And then the Oriole, a creative new venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. So maybe she is encouraging you to find that thing that you can kind of lose yourself in, and she'll help you with
Yeah.
that.
Interesting.
Yes, go back
And
to your
yeah, with the thing with the first thing that came up was play. She wants you to play. I think she
Right.
remembered you playing, but she also wants you to play. Painting. Yeah, there you go, Leah. Painting, gardening, whatever it is that makes you happy. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So, did you read already, Diana, didn't you?
Yes, I
Did you
did.
answer?
But
Yeah.
let me just
Okay.
add,
I didn't.
if I could just add one little thing about that Empress card. Leah had to go to the doctor yesterday for girly things. So
Okay. That
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Taking
Yeah.
care of oneself. That's
yeah.
good. Okay, Chick from Ohio is next, then McB 00, Maria, then Craig Dixon. Okay.
Oh, she adored
A
you.
10-10 reading. Yeah. Ooh. So, Chick from Ohio, I got here that there's some kind of a transition that you're going through. I don't know if you'll be moving or you'll be going just maybe on a vacation or going to visit some people, but I get the word transition. And as you can see, this guy is pulling a house behind him, which nowadays we'd probably say was an RV. But then I get a picnic and I get fellowship. So you're going to gather with a group of people that eat together. We call that fellowship as well. And the interesting part is that there's going to be somebody in that group that you have a real affinity for, you get along really well with. And it might develop into a good friendship, or maybe it's a real alliance, like you hadn't seen each other in a long time, and now you're seeing each other again.
So yeah, that 10-10, 10 is endings, reduces to 1, which is beginnings. So, and they both reduce to a 2, which is in itself a number of portalism, right? So through this portal, you're going to find serenity, which I love this card. And then the other card that came up was tobacco. Feed your ancestors, raise the sacred smoke to them, and they are hungry to connect. And in Native American culture, tobacco is part of the saging process and sharing. Pass the peace pipe, get together, hey, yay.
Yeah, fellowship.
Sooner or later, yeah. Got to get together, yeah. Boy, they're singing today.
That's great.
Joan?
What I got was I tuned in and I saw like this kind of stone wall with a big arched double door in it, and the doors were blue. It was kind of like this color blue, maybe, but it's kind of grayish blue. And they opened up, and there was this beautiful garden behind them. So, but my vantage point didn't move forward. So they're saying to step into the garden. And then I didn't even think about it. The portal, it's like this portal is opening up to you.
Right.
But you need to be able to step through it. And when I drew cards, I got the owl. Your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. And I got Archangel of Radiance, who says, raise your standards. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but go, step forward into the future, but have boundaries and high standards.
There you go. Nice. Awesome. Thank you very much, Chick from Ohio. All right. Our next person is McB00. Would love a message from Grandpa Emil about how to get over this very hard time. I'm sorry, you're going through a hard time. Mm. Wow. I got some interesting cards. The first card I get is competition. And he says, things happen to us. And oftentimes we think it's the worst thing that could ever happen. And finding meaning in it is really difficult. But everybody goes through something. And this isn't a competition about whose is worse than the other one is. And I know you're strong, and I'm sending you strength. He says, make sure that you communicate with your angels. Call in the archangels. You can do that. You can call in Michael. You can call in Raphael to help you. He says, and you can talk to me, even though you may think I'm not listening. I'm right there for you. Finally, he says, and this was so interesting because it's a man, an older man. And he says, remember, things are not important. It's people that are important. It's relationships. It's love that's important. Things can be replaced, but love and other things are harder for that to happen. And I send you lots of love. I hope you get through this.
Since you mentioned so many angels, I have to show this first.
Yeah.
And this is alignment, right? And then you got the elderberry card. And elderberries are about, preventing the cold, keeping you healthy. Elderberry syrup, elderberry wine, all the different ways you can use elderberry tea to help keep you on track. And it's also saying you already know in your bones what you have to do. But the very first thing he showed me was Mr. Magoo. He wants you to clean your glasses and take a good look, and don't forget to have a sense of humor. Think back. He must have, maybe he watched Mr. Magoo or imitated Mr. Magoo, or maybe it was Gilligan's Island, because the same guy that was the rich guy is the character who created
Thurston Howell. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
But
it's
the
true.
actor,
Jim Backus.
Jim
Backus
created Mr. Magoo. So don't forget humor. And if you sit down and watch Gilligan's Island, just to take you back in time, to give yourself some old world medicine.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. And when I tuned in, the first thing I saw were a big old pair of wingtip shoes, black wingtips. And he was kind of going heel to toe and saying, you get through it one step at a time. And he was showing me the wingtips, but sometimes for a while they changed into work boots because the wingtips were big, heavy, very sturdy shoes and would protect your feet. So wear good footwear, but take it one step at a time. And then he said, you don't get over it, you get through it. So it's not like there's some magical thing to all of a sudden make life 100% better. But just focusing on one step at a time will get you through it. And pretty soon it's like, oh my gosh, it's been this long and I've been dealing with this, and you'll see that a little bit by little bit it'll get better. I also pulled the peacock feather, which is about transformation. Inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for rebirth. So as rough as it is, it's the hard times where we learn and grow and all of that. It's no fun, but that's kind of what we came for, I guess. And then I got the Archangel Michael, who says, step into empowerment and realize that this is a moment of growth and transformation. And Yeah.
More
More
angels.
angels.
Yeah. More angels for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Yep.
he's there to protect you too. But you're going to get through this, my dear.
Yeah.
Sending you some strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have Maria next. I have Craig and T-Lyn and Lucy Lachey. So T-Lyn and Lucy, can you tell me if you're here? And then Teacher Barbara, are you here? You're next after that. All right. All right. You're welcome, dear. Message from Maria's Guides. All right. Ooh, I'm so hot all of a sudden.
Oh, they're just singing. Boy, they are singing. How do you stop a problem like Maria? How do you hold a friend upon the shore? So that's what they just started out with. But what is it that's troubling you? And don't try to bind down your free spirit because it isn't pleasing somebody else. Let me just draw one quick card so that there's a bit more of the story, because they've already stepped back. They thought you would love that song. And they were showing me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, hon.
Creatrix of cunning. So the person, right? You got to think this through. Don't cave into someone else's box of what they think you should be. Be yourself. Create yourself.
Oh my God. I got a similar message.
Let's hear it.
I did. Yeah. Mine says to use restraint in any situation that's confusing and hunker down and just, in other words, zip it and stay away from the people that are causing any confusion or upset. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got something completely different. I saw you wearing this little tiny like birthday hat, like the kids wear those birthday hats, except it was really, really skinny. It was hard to see almost. So it's like that spirit, and then blowing the little streamer thing at a birthday party or at New Year's Eve, a celebratory thing. So I think the idea is, because it was so small, it's like you could almost not see it, but consider every day, try to celebrate every day. And also they said, because at first it looked like New Year's Eve, and they seem to be saying that the new year is going to be good. There'll be celebrations there, but they made the hat so small to say you got to celebrate every day. And then I drew some cards, and I got one I rarely get. The white eagle, the the connection to divine guidance is within you. So you can call on divine guidance all the time. And then Archangel Cassiel says, face fear and rise, which is always a good one. And you'll notice on her torso, it's the yin yang symbol. So it's sort of a balancing act to face fear and rise up above it. But you've got a lot of power behind you there. Plus the celebratory thing that keeps the vibe high. I hope that was made some sense to you, Maria.
And she's got some beautiful little doggies there in her picture. So she's got angels with fur. There you go. There you go. So we got a kind of a fun one from Craig. He says, can we ask Phyllis Diller if she met the spirit that haunted her house in Los Angeles, and does she believe now?
Well,
I was saying to Fang. Remember her husband's name was Fang.
Fang.
Exactly.
I was saying yeah.
That's exactly what I'm seeing with her crazy wild hair and that boat neck shirt she likes to wear, and the short skirt and the
boa.
Pixie,
the boa.
and the boa and the pixie high heels, pixie boot high heels.
Yes.
And she's just laughing up a storm, saying, "We're best friends." She says, "Have you seen Beetlejuice too?"
I get the anchor. It's like it was my home. It was my anchor. And I was being really stubborn because I did not want to believe there was someone there. But now I'm up here, I graduated, and I know everything.
Yeah. That's why she said, have you seen
Yeah.
Beetlejuice 2?
Right.
You need to go see the new Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Yeah, when
Jenny,
I
you used
saw
to
her,
see
I
her.
saw she used to have that like the cigarette in the cigarette holder and just
Yep.
went, "Ah," and
Yeah.
yes, yes. Uh, but she said she filled up that house with her spirit, that so much
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
sometimes she
Mhm.
might feel something, but her spirit was so strong, it was just sort of kept everything at bay. But now
Yeah.
she does know of what was happening there. But yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't in touch at the time.
I think she's thrilled that you asked. Everybody asked about Marilyn Monroe and people like that. And she says, everybody forgets me. Oh, that's a hoot, honestly. Thanks, Craig. That was a good diversion for us. T. Lynn wonders, are her health issues part of her spiritual growth? Never had any concerning health issues until the last few years. Cannot be coincidence. It's upsetting. Yeah. My husband never had any health issues either until last year. So I totally get it. And he's not a very good patient. So, yeah. All right, I have Lucy. I have teacher Barbara. I don't know if Maggie Heaney is here. You're a brand new person, and if you are here, we will read for you. But it's only because you haven't had a reading before with us, and so let us know if you're here, Maggie Heaney. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes, T. Lynn. It is a part of the ascension that we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
These health issues will pass. Do not let fear set in. It is preparing you for an important ingredient that each body needs to have. And part of that is to stay grounded, because the new work you're going to be doing is very lofty. Let me see what kind of card we can get for that.
Wow.
Yes. You are your own magician on this. Learn how to deal. Simple things like staying out of the sun. I'm not saying don't go get your 15 minutes for the sake of vitamin D, but don't spend long hours in the sun if you don't have to, because that radiation that's coming through right now is extra strong for all of us. And some of us are, if we have autoimmune issues, you're already more susceptible to radiation to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I was getting was, yes, all of our challenges are part of our plan and for spiritual growth. And they're saying it's a balance for you between, okay, this is the way things are now, but kind of don't lose that. I don't want this. I don't, it's okay to be a bit impatient about this because I think there's something about either you doing research or looking into alternative medicine or hands-on healing or whatever, but it's like you're going to be a grain of sand on the beach that's going to push uh, humanity or the public toward, or the medical industry toward, better treatments and for whatever it is that you have. So it's we're not really saying just go in the streets and fight or something like that, or being, because you want to be at peace about this, but know that it's okay to be like, no, I don't want this. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to find the people who can help me. And so keep that fire going, because when I ask my pendulum, is T. Lynn going to find an appropriate treatment that will help this situation? Will she eventually be cured from this situation? Thinking, thinking, thinking. Will she be substantial? Will she be able to manage with this? Yes. Whatever it is, it might not be a cure, but you'll be able to manage it and continue on your life. But it's kind of a growth, not only for you, but for everybody, to help move science or medical practice forward on this. I hope that helps.
So, Teelan, I got two interesting cards. The first one I got is Magic Carpet. And of course, I love that. But it says unseen forces carry you and savor the journey. So even though it's not comfortable right now, and even though it's not pleasant, it's a flow card. It's like, let that magic carpet carry you to where you need to be, because you will emanate and be a light in the darkness and radiate from within to help other people who are dealing with similar things. That's not easy, but yeah. Okay. Much love to you, sweetie. Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh, good, Maggie, you're here. Okay. Just give me a couple. Teacher Barbara, are you here too? And Leah, I would love to hear about that study if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lucy's next. Teacher Barbara, if you're here, let me know. And then Maggie, and then we'll do a collective read for everybody. Okay. So if you're hanging in there, we'll do a reading for the collective. All right.
So I see someone, this is a grandmother type figure, and it's like not the Dust Bowl era, but the 1920s on the prairie, and she's making bread and kneading it and throwing more flour out and brushing off her hands and kneading it and rolling it and smacking it, because the more you punch it, the better your bread will be. So if there's no one that you know of in your ancestry, then we can use this as a metaphor that it's time for you to do a couple of the hard chores that you don't want to start. Because once you start, you have to do it to finish. But once it's finished, the bread's going to taste so good with hot melted butter.
Awesome.
When I tuned in, the first thing I saw a heart. It was kind of like and then there was like white curly cues that were just kind of blooming around it. And I heard the words "love blooms," and I got the tarot card of the lovers.
Oh, the lovers.
But it was also, so it could be romantic love, but I was also really, my heart chakra was really lighting up, and I was getting the idea that you send out a lot of love, whether just, smiling at somebody on the street or being a kind person or writing a note or whatever, but just in little ways that's what makes love bloom, and it's coming back to you. And when you were talking about the bread, it's like the love you send out is like the yeast that makes it all rise, and what that makes it fabulous. And so love blooms, but it starts with you. Yeah.
Oh, and now I want bread too, real squishy with lots of wonderful butter on it. Yeah, they do this to me every time. Thank you so much. I don't see Teacher Barbara here, but I do want to make a mention of something, Teelan, and I put it up, but then I realized you're on Joan's channel, so you wouldn't see my post. I have leg and feet neuropathy from my diabetes, and somebody told me to get magnesium cream for my feet and put socks on. I put socks on so it won't be smearing all over the place. And I'm not a doctor, so this is for entertainment purposes only, but it's helped me a lot. And I would imagine you could extend that up your legs.
Well,
obviously Yeah. Go ahead, Diana. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I've been working on a salve for neuropathy. And one of the
Okay.
fellows that is testing the jar for me says it works. I'm onto something. And he's like the
Oh,
least person
okay.
I expected to say, yeah, I'll take it. I'll try anything. Right. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and if you aren't already a diabetic, and she says that her doctor dismissed it, her heavy
Yeah.
legs, this is what I have been going through myself. Just because.
Mhm.
So this is information from Stefan Burns, and this was my takeaway, that when the DNA loses the polarity, it opens the door for cancer. And we have to have polarity. And what my takeaway on this was is that inside of us, we have to have our own polarity. Our mind is going to be up here. Our legs have to be glued to the ground. And this is to help stimulate the polarity that we have lost because the plasma is going off like crazy from the sun, and the protective
True.
plasma
Yeah.
that's part of the earth has disappeared, and on and on and on.
Hmm.
Now, I don't want
Hmm.
to, you know,
Yeah.
take too much time here, but if you could look up on Stefan Burns' channel, he put out an
Hmm.
education, and it's like a rehash on here, re-educate yourself on how
Hmm.
electricity works and how it works from the sky to the earth, and that we are electric. We praise the
Yeah.
body
And
electric.
I also have restless leg syndrome. So,
Mhm.
it's one thing or another. But it just this sometimes it's more than just physical, it's also metaphysical. So, something
Yeah.
to think about anyway.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so we have Maggie, and Maggie is a first-time person, so she would love to hear from her brother Bob, who's quite funny. So, and then we'll do a collective read. All right. Oh yes, Carolyn, it really does. It's beautiful. Carolyn and Peter gave me a salt breather for my birthday, and it's wonderful. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
mhm. All right, let's see if Bob wants to come through. Oh my goodness. So what do I get first? He's a wise guy. And in other words, a sense of humor. So he's like, "Yep, you nailed it, Maggie. Yeah, I'm sitting up here. I'm going to throw some shade at you because he's got his sunglasses on, see? And he says, I've been trying to communicate with you now for quite a while. I even tried sparring at one point, but we haven't been. So I kind of knew you'd find your way eventually to getting a reading. And so you are here." And he says, "Remember, your perception of heaven and earth is what most people's perception is. But when we're on the other side, we know everything. And I'm right beside you a lot of the time. So don't worry that you can't see me. But if you think about me, if you ask me, if you remember something that you loved, I'm always right there for you."
Yeah, when I tuned in, I just kept getting first I saw balloons, yellow, red, blue balloons, and you're holding them. You're a little girl and riding one of those mechanical horses that sometimes they'd have outside the grocery store, and you put a quarter in it and it would rock for a while. So I don't know what that's all about, but he just kept showing me that, and then he was in it and kind of dressed up like little kids, like a cowboy. Um, so, okay, Bob, anything else about this? Oh, okay. That he's suggesting it's important to take, to take the approach we did when we were kids, to that everything's kind of an adventure, and life can feel so heavy, and so many responsibilities, but find times to celebrate or to just play or find something you really love. Like, I don't know if you loved doing that when you were a kid. And also, I got a card for you from the Archangels, the Archangel of Mercy, saying, cherish your sacredness. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of it. The overall message is don't waste your time being overly serious, and get as much out of this experience as you can.
Yeah, exactly. I saw you guys running up and down hills, but they were like, it was like a new construction site. And it's summertime, you're wearing flip-flops, and he's got a stick, and you're the nurse. And
childhood memories. Childhood memories.
And was he chasing you with that stick and trying to tease you with that stick? Like poke the bear kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He had a worm. And then he said, then I pulled a card, and then he laughed and said, yeah, tell her worm sandwiches.
Okay.
Did he put a worm in your in a sandwich or something that you were supposed to eat?
Oh, that's funny.
Or some kind of a bug? That's
Maybe.
what he's showing me.
Oh, that's funny. Wow. Thank you, Maggie. We hope you enjoyed your reading. And yes, do please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you. We have a really good group of people here. Right. And they support each other in the chat just as much as we do here in the readings. So, yeah. All right. Reading for the collective. I've pulled some very interesting cards. You know, we're going through a lot of strange times, but they are the same as the times when we were in the Enlightenment. And astrologically, Diana could go on and tell you all about that, but unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time. But the other thing is, the Enlightenment was a period of time, but we are also opening up and being enlightened. We're leveling up. We're moving to higher ground, so to speak. And of course, we're having those solar flares and storms, and that's another part of light. So there's that. They're reminding us that we need to play more. And the other thing is, and this is for everybody, just wait till you see what comes out and is not concealed anymore. Look at that. Top secret things are going to be made known. And that fits with these cards because it's like you play, you pay, but we're going to be enlightened as to what's been kept from us all along.
Yep. Get out and play.
Yep.
Get out and play. We do have alignment with our angelic realm and protection as well as our own alignment. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're the forerunners. And we're the torch.
Yes. And when I tuned in, I didn't draw any cards. They drew one for me, and in my head showed me the magician card from the tarot.
Oh, yeah.
We've got all the tools to handle whatever's ahead, but we're going on this journey, and just be aware that you can do this. We can get through this. It might be, it'll uncover, as Allie said, some interesting things, but we can do this. Definitely. And we've got all the tools we need.
And remember, we metaphorically are holding each other's hands. Yeah. We are walking each other home. That's what Ram Dass told us. That's what this is all about. So live in joy. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Allie, and everyone.
Thank you. You have a beautiful afternoon, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye now.